It's your season right now. There's a purpose for you. There is a promise inside of you. And there's a word you can stand on. Because His power, it lives in you. His power, it lives in you. The Spirit of God, it lives in you. And you gotta get up. Come on, let's say it until we feel it. It's your season to live. It's your season to live. Get all that He promised you. Get all that He has for you. Because the promises of God are still yes and amen. If He promised you, that means He's more than able to complete it. Because it's your season to live. It's your season. It's your season. It's your season. The devil is alive. It's your season. You gotta decree it. It's your season. You gotta declare it. It's your season. Happening in this moment. It's my season. 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 It's your season to live. It's my season right now. I feel the glory in the atmosphere. It's my season to live. It lives in you.
Hello, 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 everybody. It is your season to live. I tell you, I love that song by Kristen Thomas. That is Live. That song Live is awesome. And I'm telling you, what we talking today about home ownership, and I'm celebrating myself on living. And what that encompasses is not only, doing your purpose and, working and everything that we are so busy doing each day, but also taking some time to rejoice, to have celebration, to just live and like enjoy yourself, have some self-care time, so to say. So I love that song. Live, yes, it's our season. It's our season right now to live. You wake up every morning, you have breath in your body. It is now your season to live. And so I love that song. But anyways, you guys, we are here again for another VIP conversation. I tell you, I know you missed this. I know you did. You missed this one. I know. We missed you, okay? So today we'll be talking about home ownership, but with my realtor and friend. So we'll be talking about whatever else we pop up with, with my friend Jonisha Smith, and she is an awesome, awesome woman. And I'll tell you, I've been knowing her for many, 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 many years. We went to middle school together. And so we will be talking about a little bit about some of my experiences in home ownership, but also just, like I said, having VIP conversations. Y'all know how it is. It's laid back. It's get your drink. Let's come and laugh and talk with us. If you have any questions, feel free at any time to comment them and to post them so that we can answer any comments you may have. So I want to bring on my guest speaker, again, my friend and realtor, agent, Jonisha Scott.
Scott, who was that?
I'm sorry, Smith. I don't know what Forgive me. Smith.
No worries. No worries.
Your husband. I'm sorry. It was my mistake. I don't know.
Girl, he the one gonna call you.
I know. Don't call me, Aaron. Don't do it. Smith.
Oh, thank you so much, Vanessa. I appreciate it. Yes, Jonisha Smith. I am so excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me. I'm just looking forward to the conversation. Like you said, we are celebrating this amazing achievement that you recently made. I'm super proud of. It's in our history. Like you said, we go all the way back to middle school. high school, and I'm so glad that we've been able to stay connected all this time. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to the conversation, looking forward to answering any questions that may come from anybody that's listening. And I'm really excited about the fact that we get to have these types of conversations. So thank you for this platform and
Yeah,
allowing us to really share with people what goes on in these types of situations. And
yeah.
just like I said, having real conversations is like so dope, especially coming out of a year like we had last year.
Oh yeah.
Just getting back in tune with things. So I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Oh yeah. And I want to give a little back history too. We just two girls from Oakland. I tell you, people
Yes.
from
Town biz.
I'm telling you from East Oakland to be exact. But
Yes.
it's funny because I sit back and I love when I get to shine a positive light on Oakland. I always tell people all through college, all in my career, wherever I am, they like, yeah, who are you? I'm Vanessa Jackson from Oakland, because
Yes.
don't want to give us credit. They want to act like everything bad coming out of Oakland or, not positive, whatever. And it's like, no, Oakland has done a lot here for the community and the culture.
Yep.
And so I'm just like, no, we some girls from Oakland and we out here
Yep.
entrepreneurs, graduates of college, educated business women. And so, making moves in society of today. So I am so honored and privileged again to have you. And
Yeah,
so
thank you.
what what I what came to my mind was when I used to start going to you had the workshops, first time home
Yes.
workshops. But we've been rocking since you was selling Mary Kay. I just go back, I didn't think about
Girl, tell it. Tell it, girl. The pink days were it.
I remember I was like I did the modeling, like a little bit of, you were showing
Yes. You were one of my faces for my contest, which I won like 3 different times in a row. So you were
who
a face that was exposed and you were a beautiful face at that. But yes, that is so true. I completely forgot about that.
I was like, oh, I remember that picture when yeah, girl.
Girl, don't make me go pull it up. Don't make me do it.
I
You
know.
know I got it. I have books made and everything, girl.
Share it with me.
Yes, I'll share it with you.
Okay. You can share it with the people too. I ain't worried about it because I was one of the
Okay.
fake. I can say I won awards.
Yes, exactly. This is an award-winning face, y'all.
When they sleeping on me, I'm like, don't do it.
Don't get it twisted. We out here.
Exactly. But you've been doing businesses. You've been in the line of business work for many years. Just doing your thing, and I've always just hired you along the way. I just got into entrepreneurship just a couple of years ago. But you are definitely one of the women that inspired me to like step out and just start and get started. So I'm
Thank
like,
you.
I admire your grind and your hustle.
I appreciate it, girl. It comes from the soil, from a town. So my dad has always been entrepreneurial. He started off not having an easy life growing up in the streets of Oakland. But he ended up getting into carpentry, then eventually got his contractor's license, and he always worked for himself. So
Mm,
that was like motivation for me. And I remember going up, even in high school, like I'm thinking back to some of the ideas that I had, just about like little school supply type of things. I remember there was this one invention that I wanted, well, innovation, I should say. It was like a binder that we could carry. Because remember, girl, we used to have books on top of books on top of books on
yes.
our backs. And I was like, if we just had something easy to carry to get back and forth to class. So, like, even early on, I was trying to think of stuff like products to make that I felt like would help make situations easier for people. Like when you think about business owners and the things that they bring, they're usually bringing a solution to the consumer base to try and make things easier. And I've just always had that spirit. Like I said, I got it from my daddy. Even when we were little, we used to go to the penny candy store and buy those little penny candies, and we would bag
Yeah.
them up and sell them for like a quarter. We put so many in a bag. So it's just always been something that I've been passionate about, owning my own business. And it took me a while to actually get to where it was that I wanted to be. Real estate had always been like in my mind, but I never thought that I would be a sales agent. As a realtor, we are sales agents. So I've had some adventures in entrepreneurship. It's been fun. Started some corporations, and in each experience, I can say it was definitely a learning lesson. Even with Mary Kay, I should say, especially with Mary Kay, and just learning that platform and business model. Like each thing that I did, I learned something great from it, and that helped me to get to where I am now. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
I love entrepreneurship. I'm super, super passionate about supporting small business, so supporting small businesses. So it's just something that's always been near and dear to my heart.
Yes, yes. And I'll tell you, I see it, and you always so passionate. So I
Thank you.
it ain't nothing, honey. You got Jonisha coming before you with whatever going on. Excellent. You always professional. You always excellent. It don't matter,
Thank you.
honey. You could be selling bean pies on the corner, honey. I'll
Girl,
buy. You always so hello with you. Nice. You
girl,
always,
you package it up the right way. Just put some
I
good
know.
branding on that thing. Come on. Don't let it taste good, too. I'm there.
Look,
Call me the bean pie specialist.
I just said you can sell fruitcake because bean pies is good. Now them bean pies, I don't take that much to sell bean pie. Bean pies is real good, but you can sell fruitcake and they will sell off the charts. But anyway, so I want to talk a little bit about what I know I got started with. I know you do and you still do from time to time. You still do your workshops for entrepreneur for those who are looking to be a homeowner, a first time
Yes.
homeowner. I
Yes.
know you specialize. That's your specialty area. Working who are first time buyers, first time,
Yes.
which I know in our community, especially I'm talking about the Black community, the communities of color.
Yes.
A lot of us are first time home buyers. You know, we very few of us come into, on having a home already in our family. And so
Mhm.
we deal with fears, and we have, you know, all kind of reserve for wanting to do it, or can we do it, or I don't understand what's all these unknowns, right? Because again, we don't come from a history or a family like myself. So I'm speaking about me, okay? Because I'm like girl from East Oakland, honey, graduated barely, from Castleman High School.
Castle.
I both graduated from Castleman High School, but I barely graduated, girl, by the hair of my chinny chin chin. They get me like Vanessa. If you don't do, I do like 7 classes by the end. I
Oh
was
my
like,
gosh.
girl, I was at the school at 7. My first class was Miss Flanagan. It
Oh
was
my
a
gosh.
it was a early, I think she taught world history or world economics. She had a couple of classes. It was early. I was there at 7 something in the morning, and I was
Yes.
even taking an extra class and completing some old assignments from ninth grade because I used to cut school through the ninth and the 10th grade. I
Oh
was
my god.
mindful. A good example. I was feeling bad. You know what the thing about me is I had a really good rapport with my teachers. And so
Mhm.
when it came time for me to be in my senior year and they was like, Vanessa, you ain't graduate. I was like, what? No, we gotta fix this. I had several teachers that I can go to and say, hey, I need to like take extra classes, or I need to do after school. Can you donate your time? Because they wasn't really paying the teachers to like stay after extra 30 minutes, hour, stuff like that. So they have to like
Yeah.
really kind of have some care for you to do that. And so, like I said, because of my good
Yes.
rapport with teachers, I was able to be able to get solicit teachers to help me out. So I like I said, I graduated here in my chinny chin chin. I don't think I barely made a 2.0, but I tell you this.
Girl,
I mean,
you
wrong.
made it.
I made it. That's the point, you know.
Exactly. Exactly. You made it. That's what it is, girl. You just touched on so many points, girl, that I could talk about all day, especially with our experience at high school. So, a lot of people probably ain't gonna notice, but people in town know that back in the day, Castlemont did not have the best reputation, um, and we had some experiences that kind of dictated the circumstances would dictate that we should not be where we are today.
Exactly.
So I want to applaud you for making it, even though you made it out by the hairs of your chinny chin chin, girl. You made it. That's all that count, right?
Said,
Yes, and we did. We had some really good teachers there that really put in work and stayed extra and tried to bring the extra resources that the school district didn't have the resources for. And our peers were amazing. I feel like the class of '99 was such an amazing class.
we
Like
was
if you look at yes, where if you look at where a lot of us are right now and just kind of look back at what we went through, you'd be like, okay,
oh
I see
yeah.
y'all. I see y'all. So I'm proud to say I went to Castlemont High School. I was born and raised in East Oakland.
Yeah.
And I am an example that you don't have to be a product of your environment.
Yeah.
We both
Yeah.
are. We both are. Because Vanessa, look at you, girl. I'm so proud of you. You have done amazing things. And this journey that we just went through together of home ownership, girl,
I know. And you
that
know what?
that was a journey.
It was. It was. I'm telling you, let me tell you something. God really told me like it was time because I was hesitant. Like I said before,
I
I
remember.
took your seminars years before I had even I went to your seminars at least 2 or 3 years. I went to several, you know,
Yes. Yes.
and just
And you
getting my
told me too.
huh?
You told me. I remember when you came to like one of the first ones. You told me you was like, I ain't ready now, but when I'm ready, I'm gonna call you. And girl, you don't know how many times I hear that. Like, I'm gonna call you, girl. So when you called me, I was like, yeah, Vanessa, let's do it. And I know, like for buyers, especially in this market, is such. It seems like a daunting task. It seems like the impossible because you hear all these things through the news and through social media about how the market is performing. Homes are selling for $200,000 over asking price. You got to have X amount of dollars to be able to get a house in this market. You won't be able to do it unless you have blah, blah, blah. All of
Yeah,
these things are messages that go out to people and it discourages buyers. So
yeah,
one of the things, like, I'm super passionate about advocating for my buyers and really encouraging my buyers to let y'all know home ownership is definitely attainable, even in this market, even if you don't have a ton of money.
yeah,
So there are super amazing programs that are out here to assist buyers in this, especially in California. We have a state that has like programs through CalHFA, like all sorts of private organizations, county organizations. So I think one of the things that I would start off by saying is when you start to consider whether or not you want to buy a home, getting with a realtor is going to be like the first step so that you can see that, receive the education, get the information, and get the direction that you need, because it's best to go to the source. It's best to go to the professional. You would not go to a dentist and ask them for legal information, right? You would
yeah.
go to a lawyer. So when you have questions about home ownership, you should go to the professionals. And
Oh
that
yeah,
is going to be a real estate agent or realtor.
I'm telling you. And
Yes.
the Lord he dropped it in my spirit because I was like, I'm ready. And what was a confirmation of like me getting started and moving forward was it was funny because I was like, okay, Lord, I think I'm ready, or like he was speaking to me about it. But one day in the mail, not that
Uh-oh, the mailman brought it to you.
one day it was like at that moment, I'm gonna tell you, I was sitting on the side of my bed and I was living with my mom. And I was sitting on the side of the bed, and at that moment, I was like sitting there thinking about it, and I'm like, oh, you know, how this gonna go? and my mom came and dropped my mail on my bed, and I looked over. Her brochure book was like, wow, right there. I had never.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you just had started like doing the books. I was anyway. It was my first
Oh,
book. Yes, the book. I was a
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about my publications that I have to go out. Yep.
emails, and I get notifications of when you having seminars. I get notifications when you are having seminars and the such. But yeah, it was the first time I received like this book, and it had your face on it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, this is it, this is it. It was the Lord. I did.
Nice.
Like, thank you, Jesus, for clarifying that for me. And it was just as easy as pie. And I was like, I need to call her. It was just like right there. I was like, I need to call her. I need to get started.
Awesome.
And
Yes.
they do. They say, oh, you're supposed to get your loan person first. Oh, you didn't find out. I called you. And
Yes.
the rest of it, we took care of together. And I think people do. They be like, oh, I want to, but don't I got to do this first? Or don't I just say, get your agent first, because the agent can point you in
Yes.
the direction where you need to go. So it's not going to hurt
Yes.
you to go to your agent first.
Yes.
Because then I had a loan officer of mine, and you actually work with her, and so it was really easy for you to connect me with her. And say, oh, let me send her an email, and you were just like right there. So I was like, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't have to go and reach out to her. You reached out for me, and then we were able to connect and come on together. And
Yep.
so yeah, my loan officer, Elva Wormley. I mean, she's awesome, awesome, awesome.
Yes. Shout out to Elva. Yes.
Com, I believe is her website. But yeah, she's awesome, and we just everything was running. So you were just like that. Like I said, I don't know why people wait. It's like you are that navigator to whatever's going, to how things are flowing and moving. So it made
Thank
it
you.
easier for me, especially because I work full time. So that's another thing. Anybody know me? I know I'm a social worker. It's crazy hours all the time. It's just always busy. And so that was another thing I thought was going to get in my way. I was like, oh, Lord, I don't have the time. I don't have the time. You know? And when I connected with you, it was like, cool. You was like, okay, here's this, here's that. Okay, you just look at the places, see what and we'll make appointments, and whatever
Yes.
fit. And we made it work. And it just was like, cool. Like I didn't have to do what I thought I had. I thought I had to do a lot of work.
Yeah. Wait, well, let's be clear. Let's let people know it is a lot of work. And I want to give you credit because you did do a lot of work throughout the process. And like you said, when you are looking up or thinking about getting home, know exactly what it's going to assume that based on what kind of messed up in the head. Completely different experience, but I think you in the right place. Step in this process is to get you a realtor, because your realtor, like you said, Vanessa, is going to be your connector to everything else that you're going to need in the process. They're going to be the ones to guide you and tell you exactly what you need and where you need to be, and to put you with who you're supposed to. So you did the right thing, and that is the first step that I cover in my workshops, is to say, hey, get you a realtor.
Yeah.
I would love to be that person. But I'm super passionate about education. And one of the things you said earlier about just everything that you thought about the process, that's one of the reasons that I have been so passionate about educating people about this process. Because one thing that I hear most often from people is that they don't approach realtors because they think they have to pay them. And there is truth to that. However, when you are a buyer in this market and you are working with a buyer's agent, that means somebody that's representing you in the transaction to actually purchase a home. The buyer does not pay us directly for services. We don't get paid to take you out and show you homes. We don't get paid. So at no point during the process where you're working with me are you giving me any actual money. I don't make money until I actually sell you a house. And just some background information for everybody listening, agents get paid through their broker. So once the broker receives the commission from the sale, because that's who gets the money, they then split it with me, and that money is based on what the seller has dictated and negotiated with their agent. So there's a lot of background information that I share with buyers so that they can have a clear understanding about how I get paid, why they should be working with me, what value I add to the process, and what value it is for them in the process. So there's
Yeah.
so much to know. And again, that's why I'm passionate about it, because I feel like the messages that come from just mainstream media or just people talking who think they know, who've never done it, or who have had different experiences, sometimes will deter a buyer from taking the action that they need to just get started. And once you get started and you learn the information, you are like going in the right direction. So
And
call
then,
your realtor,
yeah,
agent Jonisha Smith.
exactly. And agent Jonisha.
Yeah, and start with the education. Even if you're not ready to buy right now, it's all about the learning. So
And that's the thing that I remember attending your workshop, and that's why I said the work part that I did was um improving my credit, saving a bit of money, so those things I
mhm,
did do myself, and
mhm.
actually help expedite that. So
Yes,
what the truth is,
yes,
I wasn't spending money on bus and BART, going out to go to work because I started working from home, and then
mhm,
wasn't uh oh, my student loan stuff got deferred because of the student loans got they
mm,
freeze on them. So all the money
yeah,
I put in towards student loan. So yeah, I'm serious. I was getting it. I wasn't spending.
yes,
I was putting that in the bank for real. I was like, nope, nope, nope. And then just like I said, not going out. We were in quarantine, so we wasn't going out like all the normal spending that I would do. Like eating out or hanging out with friends. Those things, allow me to be able to save the money. Save the money.
mhm,
I'm not doing dinner with the friends. Not doing the happy hours and such. So all of that, the money I just saved it and put it aside. So by the end of the year, I think it was like either late November, I called Jonisha. I was like, hey, I'm like, I didn't paid off some debts, and my credit score had improved, and I
mhm.
was able to put some money in the bank, and so I had a little savings, and so I was like, okay. And the Lord said it's time, and that was it. That was
Yeah,
it. You know, um, but yeah, that the pandemic. That's the one thing I tell people all the time. That's the one thing that the pandemic gave, like that the one good thing that the pandemic um did for me, I say, was really allowed me that space and time to save money and get myself, because I kept saying, oh, I want to do home ownership, but it slowed everything down so that I can actually get what it is I needed to be a homeowner. And so um
yes,
yeah, I'm very thankful and grateful for that. And with me saying that, and I saw you sipping on your wine, I'm like, wait a minute,
girl.
I got
You can't
so
have a good conversation all the time without a nice glass of bubbly or something.
I'm gonna get some y'all know I normally have some wine, but this is a celebration. And with a celebration,
Yes,
drink champagne.
yes, yes. I love it.
Let me pop a bottle to the celebration of me being
Yes.
okay. I
Here,
said,
let me get my glass so we can do like a cheers.
no, cheers.
Yes.
Cheers. Thank you so much.
Cheers to home
Yeah,
ownership. I just want
yeah,
to go back and touch on some of the things you said, Vanessa, because you pointed out some really, really good things about the work that you had to do ahead of time to get ready for this journey of home ownership. And that is so important. But for a lot of buyers, they don't know where to start. Like, even if they know, like, hey, I got to get my credit up, they're like, well, what's the first thing that I should do? Or what should I pay off first? And what's going to hurt my credit score? What's going to make it go up the fastest? And And it's going to vary for everybody. There's not one solution that's going to work for everybody. There's going to be like some general things, some general principles that you should follow. But because every situation is case by case, I always recommend that my clients talk to the professional, which is going to be the lender. And I have some amazing lenders that I work with that will basically guide you and tell you exactly what it is you need to do, tell you what you need to pay off first, tell you what's going to increase your score the most or what the lender's looking at. They talk about your credit score. That's a very important part of making sure that you are ready for home ownership, because your credit score needs to be in a good place. And one of the reasons is because your credit score kind of dictates what your interest rate is going to be. Yeah. Right? So you want the best interest rate, which is going to be the lowest one that's available, because that is going to make your payments lower. They're also going to be looking at your credit history. So they want to make sure that you have sufficient history to show that you are a good borrower, because what's their main concern? They just want to make sure you're going to pay their money back, right?
Okay.
Exactly. So they're looking at that history to see if that is what you have been demonstrating. So making sure that you have a good credit history is very important. And also another thing that people are not always aware of is the debt to income ratio.
Yeah.
So that is basically where the bank looks at what your income is versus your monthly debts are that are going out. And they want that to be a specific number in order for them to feel comfortable with lending you money. So those three things are going to be key in making sure that you can get pre-approved. And a lender is going to be the best person to tell you how to kind of navigate that process, what the application is going to need, what documents you need to submit in order to get pre-approved, and whether or not you can make it happen. And that is such a key part of this process, because it allows you to know like where you stand in this process. A lot of people come into this not knowing, can I buy a house right now? Really, the only way you're going to know is if you actually go through the process of getting pre-approved to see if the bank will give you the money, unless you just got a ton of cash sitting somewhere, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But going through that process to see if a bank will actually lend you money is going to be one of the second steps. So once you get your realtor, you want to go through the pre-approval process to see if you can get pre-approved for a home loan.
Yeah. It was really, so for me, I know I was at the point where it was like, okay, my credit score is where it's going to be. I've saved this amount of money. It's not much. Let's go. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Some people, like, they're trying to wait, for that. And sometimes, and like I said, you just have to feel it. Like, I was like, well, my credit score is here. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, I've paid off and that was the thing, is like the things that I could pay off during that time, like I said, of COVID, of just like the main quarantine time, I was able to pay off. And then I was able to save a little bit of money. And that was pretty much where it was going to be. I'm like, I work and everything like that. It wasn't going to change like significantly than that. So I was like, well, this is the goodest time as ever for me to go ahead and start and go ahead and go in.
Yeah.
I was able, thank God, I was able to qualify. I think I got a program or something. I don't know. Something's going on.
Elva hooked it up. Elva made it happen.
I'm telling you, I was like, yeah, girl, make them numbers, make it
Let it do what it do. Look.
Honey, I did. I went in, I said, this is how much I want to pay a month. This is it. And I tell you, I landed right on it. It was like, boom, we was able to work it out.
Yes.
I'm good. I was like, I'm good. I'm good. And I paid my first mortgage payment last month. It felt so and I paid put out money for my second one next week. But I'm telling you, I'm like, this is crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. How does it feel for you now? Like, because like you said, you contacted me back in November to start this process, and your goals when you came into this, I know you had an idea about what it was that you wanted, and I think it would be important for you to share that with listeners so that they can know the real, like what you came into this expecting
You know,
this
I
from
yeah,
the like, what was that like?
yeah. Now I do have to say it definitely shifted. So what I was a 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom home with 2 car garage, a front yard, and a backyard. And I did.
Yes.
I wanted a single family home. And number one in the Bay Area, y'all. And I got a good career with and stuff, Once we started like putting in these, numbers and possibilities or where I set and then what I was pre-approved for, it
Mm-hmm.
that idea that I had was not it. But you know what? I'm so glad it wasn't it though, because another thing is I can't I'm like and like I said, everybody to each his own. But I just felt like I feel good at where I am. I don't. If I would have had that large single family home, I feel like it would be work that I'm really able to do at this time in my life. To be completely honest, like I remember talking to God about, I said, God, I said I really wanted this single family, but when I got out there, like I said, going with you, and you didn't tell me no. You was like, okay, this is what you did it. You was like, this is what you're approved for. You want to say, let's go look, and we did. We looked at
Mm-hmm.
homes, we different things, and it was some of them needed work, some time, some energy.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna need. I was like, ooh, I ain't got no time for that. Like I'm working a full-time job and I'm a single woman. Like, I hate to say like I'm not a do-it-yourself kind of chick. I ain't got no man to be like coming and fixing some stuff. And then I'm scared because I'm like, if I go out and get a quote, for people to like do work for me that they not gonna do me right. So it was a whole other thing. And so I feel like what I have right now is really perfect for me.
Awesome.
I ended up, it dwindled down. So it went from 3 bedroom single family home to like a 2 bedroom single family home. We looked at quite a few 2 bedroom and 1 bath single family homes, which were super cute, super super
Yep.
cute.
Yep.
But everything in my budget was either like I would have had to put more work in it, like more time and more work into it. And it was things that I just couldn't do. I was like, I ain't gonna do, couldn't do, wasn't happening.
Yeah.
And
And I want to interject right here, Vanessa, because you've said some really important things that I think buyers should know. So when I work with my clients and we come into this process, one of the first things that I have you do is make sure you're clear on what your goals are, because
yeah,
it's really easy to get distracted with your wants versus your needs.
mhm,
And I think coming into this, like you said, you have the dream of just starting off the 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom, single family home, which could have been possible. Like if we would have been searching and searching and searching, that's something that could have happened. And in those situations, I'm honest with my buyer. And like you said, I told you, well, this is what you're pre-approved for. I
yeah,
don't tell my buyers no because I think anything is possible, but I want you to be realistic and prepared for the responsibility that comes on with that type of purchase. And a lot of
yeah,
people are not aware, especially in the city of Oakland, and other cities throughout the nation. I only work in California and I specialize in the Bay Area, so I can only speak to those experiences. But there's things that people don't know about, like the fact that when you purchase a single family home in the city of Oakland, you have to make sure that the sewer lateral is compliant. Some people have
mhm,
never even heard that term before, and they're like, what? And just to summarize what that is, that's a process where you have to hire a professional that comes out to check the sewer lines that go from your house to the main sewer connections in the street. And quotes for that type of work range anywhere from like $4,000 and up. And then
yeah,
there's money on top of that. So there's all these expenses and things to consider that a lot of buyers are not aware of with a single family home purchase, in addition to just the regular maintenance. So when I'm working with my buyers, I always just make sure that you are coming back to your goals. Like, what is it that you need out of this situation? What is your
yeah,
goal? And I think once we kind of like stuck with the goals and what it was that you really needed in the process, I think that made things a little bit more clear. And it worked. Like, I feel like all the buyers that I've worked with, boxes on the first property. But as long as you're hitting your goals and getting what you need out of the process, you won. You
Yeah.
won, and you are winning, honey bun. So cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers to
Hey,
the winner. Yes.
yeah. So I ended up with a one bedroom, one bathroom condo, but it was ready, move in ready. And that was my other thing. Because then I started, like I said, as we were going out looking around, other things in my budget was looking like it needed work. And I was just getting this. I was,
I just thought about that one house on I don't know if it was on 81st or 83rd. Girl, and
oh,
we walked in when your mom was there. Oh my God. He was like, I ain't paying this for that. I was like,
you know what's funny? I turned a little lightweight bougie. I was like, can I be bougie? I didn't boss like that. I was like, whatever. I'm not doing that. It ain't it.
right. He's like, no, they're not getting these coins for that.
No,
They gonna have to come different.
it needed all sorts of work. Oh my God. Yeah, it needed all sorts.
Yes.
Like, no, you're not gonna try to make this. It looked like a living room, and he tried to convert it to a bedroom. And I was like, see, he ain't got no closet in here. Like, what was going on? It was just a lot.
Yes. Girl, and I was trying to play it up like, well, you can do this. Like, this is a still. Because the thing is, and just to be real, you guys, like when you're looking at these homes and you have a certain goal, like a certain number to hit, like sometimes you have to make compromises, right? You have to say, okay, I'm willing to deal with this so that I can eventually make it this. So homes that don't always have those immediate things that you want checked off, if they have the potential to have those things, might be
Yeah.
a good investment. So working with my clients, especially Vanessa, and just highlighting those opportunities and potential that you see in properties is really important, because when we spending money like the way we spending money here in the Bay Area for homes,
Yeah.
we have certain expectations. We want to be clear that we're not missing out on opportunities. But I think, like you said, Vanessa, you ended up in a great spot.
Yeah.
Move-in ready condo, beautiful,
I
everything that
mean,
you.
everything was like new. Everything is like new. It is new.
Yes.
But you know what? I didn't even think that I really cared, I guess, as much until I started doing the shopping.
Yeah.
Um, and then I started seeing, because every time you would ask me afterwards, you like, okay, what did you like? What did you didn't like? I was like, and it really started putting it up in my mind. Oh yeah, I really don't like this, or I really don't like that. I wasn't thinking about. You were like, do you want open or closed kitchen and all this stuff? And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I do. It was just you made everything so clear to me, because
Oh,
it
thanks.
because you don't think about something. Like, do I want the kitchen to be open? Do I want it to go right on to the living room and look at people? I don't know. Like, oh, my kind of got everything I look for. When I started seeing, oh my God, it's a few things that I love here that I saw at other places, and I was like, oh, I want that. Like, okay, for one, and it was so crazy. But Jonisha was like, you could just buy one of those, but it was a refrigerator with the ice maker.
Yes. Look.
When I saw one, I was like, oh, I never, because when I was growing up, in the hood of Oakland, I never had a refrigerator with an ice maker. And I was like, oh, it was crazy. I saw it, went home, and I got excited. I was like, oh,
Yes.
I got
It's the
so,
little things sometimes. It's the little things that make a huge difference.
I got turned
I
up
realize
on
though how expensive appliances are. Like if you had to buy that would bring you $1,000 or more.
more. Yeah,
So
definitely.
it's good to have those kind of appliances.
The other thing that really was the mirrored closets.
Yes.
Like, once I seen it once, I was like, oh, I gotta have it. Drink that. Drink that. So we was walking to the places that didn't have it, and Jonisha would be looking at me like, you can just buy it. You can. I was like, It ain't got mirror closets or a refrigerator with the ice maker. We got problems, Jonisha. We got problems.
Right.
I was like, I know Jonisha
Next.
irritated with me because I started, I started looking at the food. And she was like, Vanessa, this is something you can
Okay,
like.
I knew you were gonna see the light. I was like, she gonna see the light. Because we gonna pass up one too many of these condos, and she gonna be like, "Dang, I should have bought
I'm
them."
telling you, that's so, you know, like where I am is so perfect for me. I can't even lie. Like things, and this is why I tell people like you really gotta pray and keep God first and everything that you do is because like things that I have like in or around this condo that I didn't even look at. So like I catch bus and I catch BART and like it's literally at the corner. I didn't know that when we came over here. I hadn't even peeped that out. And I'm literally a 10-minute bus ride from the BART. And then I'm only 2 blocks away from
Nice.
the gas station, the pharmacy, like because I don't have a car right now. And so I'm literally like short walking distance away from like prime things like the grocery store or the pharmacy and things of that nature. And I literally I got in here and I looked at what was in the area. And I actually yesterday I took that walk going to the grocery store and stuff. And I told God, thank you. I said, God, I thank you because these are things I did not even peep. I wasn't looking at, I was just looking at the place, you know. And even this
Mm-hmm.
place, I did not like. As a matter of fact, Jonisha was, we talked
What?
something like a bougie. I was like, I smell cigarette smoke. Who's smoking? It has carpet in. I'm still perturbed about the carpet in the doggone hallway. I mean, y'all need to fix
I
this. This gonna make,
know.
that's okay. I
Yes.
don't talk. I said, honey, I'm gonna talk to people in HOA. But
Exactly.
anyway, but what was most important, and Jonisha would always, kind of point me back in the right direction because you get lost in some of the small things that it really, really matter, and she would always point me back in a direction of like, okay, well, what are you looking for? What do you need the space to do? At one point I wanted a 2 bedroom. So if I wanted a 2 bedroom, which I could have had, it would have needed work. And I was like, I really don't have the time to do the work. So it's kind of like that. She's like, okay, or you could do the 1 bedroom already done, don't need no work, and then just use the space in a different way. And so that's how I ended up going. Because I was like, what's more important for me is that I move in a place where I don't have to do work because of the type of job that I have. I don't know when I would have the opportunity to do work, changing flooring and walls and all of that. And I needed to move in. Like, I don't have the luxury of buying a place and then, waiting 2, 3 months for somebody to
Mm-hmm.
do work, and then be like, oh, now I have what I'm looking for. No, I don't have that kind of luxury. I need to be living where I'm paying. I don't know. I don't have that kind of luxury. So I'm thankful to you because you did. You
Aw.
kept like, okay, Vanessa.
No, I think you were amazing throughout the process, and I know it wasn't easy, and that's why I love working with buyers because I love the journey with you and being the encouragement, being the nudge that you need to keep going. Because in a market like the one that we're experiencing now, it's not easy for buyers, and I know the journey was not easy for you. But I think, like you pointed out, like you had goals. You wanted a specific thing. You had timelines that you had to meet. You had all these other things to consider, and my role is to help you keep those things top of mind so that you can achieve what your goals are. You wanted to achieve home ownership. So that's where my job as the professional comes in at, is to help you just kind of stick to your goals and make sure you're in a good spot and making a good decision. And I think that's what happened. I think one of the things that you said is like some of the little things that don't matter. And I just want to kind of go back and twist that around a little bit because the little things matter a lot to some people. So I wouldn't say that they don't matter, because the little things you can address, you can fix the little things a lot easier than some of the bigger things, like you taking down walls or redoing floors or some of the bigger expenses that come up with making a home feel comfortable for you to live in. So I think you did an amazing job. I feel like you had your moments, but I feel like
We
to
have a little bit of technical difficulty, but that's
uh-oh,
okay. We're gonna keep
uh-oh.
on going.
Am I here?
Yeah, you
Are we
back.
back? Okay. Okay, good. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
But I was saying that when you are looking at purchasing a home, especially a starter home, you want to keep things top of mind, like how long am I going to live here? And you were really good at like saying, well, this is just going to be my starter home.
Exactly.
I can
Exactly.
potentially move out of here and either sell it or rent it out after a certain number of years. So those are the things that you need to consider as a buyer. Like, what are the long-term benefits of this actual investment? Am I going to be able to get a good resale value so I can get a return, maybe make some profit on the sale?
Yeah.
Um, when should I sell? Is the market going to be doing good? Like, are we expecting that the market's going to be in a good place for me to sell in a few years, or should I move in a few years and rent it out? Because the rental market is usually in a trend, an upward trend. So there's all these things to consider that Vanessa and I talked about, and like I said, just going through the whole process and talking everything out, sticking to the goals, remembering the goals, and also meeting the things that are going to make you comfortable with living in this place.
Yeah.
All of it is really important. So it's like it's a whole journey. What I kept telling you, Vanessa, strap yourself in for this roller coaster ride, girl, because we gonna go up, down, loop de loop, all drop. Look,
Yeah.
we was on the drop zone a couple times, right?
Exactly. It was actually when and I do want to say I ended up getting what's funny is I ended up saying no to this place. I think maybe what 3 or 4 months
Yes,
before I
yeah,
got
like right around December. Yeah,
like I had seen this place and saw it, and because of some things that was like not even really relevant to the place, I was like, nah, nah, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. But
and
then,
they had it. Wasn't the price higher too at the time when you initially saw it? Was it listed for more?
yeah, it was a little bit more. Yeah, yeah, it was a little bit more. And yeah, but we, honey, after going out into this crazy market, because then I started seeing things that was in my price range or whatever. But because the nicer and that Jonisha always schooled me on, she said, "Hey, you want move in ready? You want stuff that don't need no work? It's gonna be competition."
Yes.
Uh,
The competition is fierce. And just to kind of let people know, like in the East Bay area right now, it's super competitive because the secret's definitely out about Oakland. Like everybody knows that this is a sweet spot in the Bay Area. It's
yeah,
great location. We have beautiful homes, amazing culture. Um, and in a market where there's a lot of competition, it usually is an indicator that there's more buyers in the market than homes available. And that's what makes things so competitive. That's what makes prices go up. Um, so the competition for the things that everybody wants, like everybody wants the 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom house that's cute with the fenced in yard and front and backyard. Like everybody wants that because that's kind of what we have been taught to want. But like I said, it really is what you get is it should be based on what your goals are. And that
yeah,
may look different than what people say the American dream is supposed to look like. Your dream is going to look different
yeah. And
because
right,
you are a unique individual to this process.
yeah, and like I said, it makes sense for what I'm doing right now in my life. I'm a single person, hardworking. I don't have no kids and no marriage, but it's like I can do something different later. Like
Yeah.
I can move into that. I can move into that single family, 3 bedroom. I can do all that later on
Yep.
and
This is your
still,
stepping stone.
yeah, and use this as my start. I guess I wanted. I was like, I wanted a starter. I wanted a
Yeah.
starter. And so it has this has everything. It does have the refrigerator with the ice maker. Thank you
All
very.
right.
It does have the mirror to closet.
Yes.
Honey, everything is sparkling and looking nice. And I was like, yeah,
Yes.
I was so glad.
Yes. And it's got great space. I think,
It
like,
does.
even though it may sound small, saying one bedroom, one bathroom home, I think some of the other units that were bigger, because the layouts weren't as functional as what you got, your space feels
Yeah,
bigger, more open, more updated, more modern. So there's
yeah,
so many things to consider. And I
yeah,
think another thing that I want to point out is that you had options.
yeah,
So a lot of buyers in this market feel like, oh, well, I'm only in this price range. I don't really have a lot of options. And I like to just kind of dispel that myth. There
yeah.
are still options out here. It just takes the
Busy.
consistent searching.
Oh
So
yeah, we were.
staying on top of those listings that come available and also being persistent with going after those. So as soon as they pop up, Vanessa, I was like, hey, as soon as it pop up, let's go see it.
Let's go.
What do you want to go after work? Look,
It's real. Like, honey, we be going. You be like, you want to go during lunch break? We be in the middle of.
look.
We made.
Yes.
That's what I love about working with Jonisha. We made it. It was like, hey, hey,
We have to.
everything. We were trying to make sure, what it is that I was looking for, that I found it. And I mean, Jonisha was just an honor and a privilege to work with. I'll tell you, pleasurable. Like you didn't get irritated with my questions. You didn't get irritated with me trying to be bougie ghetto. Like
Thank you.
you in an apartment with your mama and you want to act all picky.
Stop it. No, honestly, I know what it's like. So I've been in the buyer seat before and I know what it's like to go out and look at homes. Like our first property that we purchased right at the beginning or right when the financial crisis or the housing crisis was happening back in 2007. I remember going out to the house and being like, mm-mm, they need this, this, and this. And at the time, we felt like we were overpaying. So, like a lot of buyers in this market, we were like, that is too much money. And luckily, we had a wise person who was counseling us and just kind of walking us through the process. Our realtor at the time was a family friend, and they just kind of let us know, like, this is a great area. This is a great deal. Y'all should probably take advantage of this opportunity. And it was the one of the best investments that we have ever made. It's like tripled and quadrupled in value. And it's just been an amazing asset to our portfolio. So
Yeah.
sometimes it's not always going to look like what you think it should look like. And that's what I always try and make clear to my buyers. Like, you might have this thing in mind that it's supposed to look like, and what you get may look different, but it still meets your needs. It still checks the boxes, just not like how you thought the boxes were going to get checked.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. And that's how I feel about where I am. I feel like it's exactly what I want. And, we talked about it being a really good location. It's an excellent location. I'm like, for
Yay!
resell it or sell it, whatever. It's just it's wonderful. And so I'm like,
Yes.
I'm excited and I'm so glad about what God has done. Because truly,
Yes.
I like I was doing the footwork, but God had already put it in His plans. Because, like I said, the things that are around this place, I did not realize at the time of even purchasing. My life has been so simple, like so
Mm,
simple, so easy. Just this ended up being better than I thought. End up being
yes.
I thought. And so, yeah, it was. We had the roller coaster ride.
I am so happy to hear that. Yeah, we was on a roller coaster. Trust
Oh,
me, we
when I
it's a roller coaster.
remember that first house that I loved. Oh my god, I think it was like maybe the was it the first house or second house I had ever? No, the second one.
Was it the one on 75th?
Yes,
Yes.
love. Like I almost
I
cried.
know. I know.
And granted, I did not want to be in Oakland. I didn't. I didn't, but it was in Oakland and it was just so cute. It was so adorable. The 2 bedroom, 1 bath. It had a backyard, it had a front yard, it had a gate. Everything had been new appliances and all that stuff, It was just so cute. It was
It
so nice.
was.
It had a fireplace. I was just so in love with that little
I
spot.
know.
And it just, yeah, the competition was the competition was stiff.
It was kind of rough during that time, and that was a part of the market where things were selling for so much more over asking price. And in some neighborhoods they still are.
Yeah,
But those type of opportunities are so hard to walk away from. But like I said earlier, like this is your starter home, and it's like now you know what you need to do in order
yeah,
to be able to take advantage of those type of opportunities in the future.
yeah,
And that would have been a great starter home too, but things just didn't play out. I think that house ended up selling for like way, way over
oh yeah,
asking. Yeah, and it sat on the market for a little while too. So not sat on the market, but um, it took a little while for it to get through escrow. I ended up following up with the agent, and there were some things that came up regarding the home that didn't make it easy for the buyer to purchase. So
see,
yeah, you just never know.
never know. Dodge the bullet.
Look, blessing in disguise that you didn't get that one. This conversation would be going totally different. You'd be like, my house is falling apart.
It did have
No,
horrible
it wasn't even that severe, but it was some big things.
horrible parking, boy. Remember that street? That street, it was like
Yes.
that parking was just ugly. Oh,
Yes.
now
Yeah,
that with like I well the house itself had a
it did.
driveway.
It did.
Yeah, anything over that one car that would have been it was just that parking was a lot of places the parking ain't all that good. But
Yeah.
I wanted to yeah, I'm just grateful and thankful, like I said, to even to having you speak with us today and like really yeah, because it was something else. And I'm gonna have a virtual housewarming. Let people know I'm gonna have a
Yay. I was just going to ask you about that.
yeah in about a month or so. I'm just trying to get things together. Just
Okay.
over like literally because I have been I've been living with my parents. I had a roommate with friends. Like my life has just been kind of moving and going. And so all I had was stuff in my storage was clothes and things of that nature. So I don't have no furniture. I had to buy a bed before I moved here. So I'm still getting pieces. Like I'm still getting like I gotta get a couch and getting little things here and there. But and still kind of condensing my stuff,
Mm-hmm.
clothes. I have a problem. I do. I do. I was like, you know what, Vanessa, you're not buying nothing at all in 2021 because 2020 I didn't really wear, much.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
I bought a lot. Like I said, our stuff still brand new, and
With
I didn't.
tags on it, huh?
Yeah, tags on everything. And I said, so you ain't wore none of 2020 new stuff, so you don't buy nothing new this year.
Girl, bring that fashion out the closet.
Yeah, because
Bust it on out of storage.
exactly quarantine where I literally had the same like pants. I had several shirts. It was nothing. Some pajamas. So
It's like that sometimes. We can accumulate a lot of things over time, but last year was a year that I feel like we all probably accumulated just a little bit more than what we needed because online shopping was such a relief and like an escape for so many of us because we couldn't go to a lot of stores. I think Target was like one of the only things open out here for a minute. So
yeah, yeah,
um, I remember seeing so many people at Target. Like, hey girl, that was a thing to do in 2020. Let's go to Target.
exactly.
But yeah, I'm excited about the virtual housewarming. I would love to be there.
I'm gonna do
I
the
would
birth.
love to host.
Yes.
Yes, so let me know what you need from me. And I'm going to give you some resources too. I just found out about this great resource where you can get like refurbished furniture, or furniture that people like. You know how people buy new things and they just get rid of the old things. A lot of times that stuff is new.
Yeah.
I'm not too proud to go and look and see what people are handing out. So I'll share that resource with you.
Yeah, please do. That'd be wonderful.
Yes.
'Cause I'm like I
Yeah.
said, trying to get stuff along the way, but I'm gonna do a
Yeah.
virtual housewarming because that way everybody gets to see it, but everybody ain't got to be here. You know,
Exactly. Yeah. And you can kind of get everything in order. I think that's an amazing idea. Yeah.
everybody in my space. Everybody
But you
want to
ain't
be.
got to clean up before people get there. Look.
And I'll be left men having to clean and all of that. Like, no, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that.
Right.
But yeah,
Awesome.
that'll be coming up soon. And so, but thank you again, Jonisha. Do you have anything coming up yourself? Where can people find you? Like, I know you have a website.
Yes, I do have a website, so people can find me on my website at www.agentjanishasmith. My name is on the screen. That's how you spell it. I'm also on Instagram at Agent Janisha Smith, and Facebook, Jonisha Smith Realtor. If you just type in my name, you can usually find me. It's not too many Jonisha Smiths out there. And I do have some events coming up. I'm really excited about one in particular. I am helping to coordinate a community wealth building day in my city, the city of Oakland. It's going to be at the Black Cultural Zone. Have you been to that space yet, Vanessa?
Oh,
Oh my gosh, it's so nice. So it's right. It's also called or known as Liberation Park, right at Eastmont Mall, right close to where the police station is on 73rd.
I did go there because I went and got some food from there. Yeah,
Yes, they do like a farmers market type thing. They
when I
just put a new outdoor roller skating rink there. So it's a wonderful space for the community. And I'm going to be working with the ARPB, Associated Property Brokers, which I am the assistant secretary on. So that event's going to be on August 14th of this year. It is going to be in person, outdoor space. So there will be social distancing. There's going to be activities for the kids. It's definitely a family event. We're going to have some giveaways. It's going to be amazing. But we're basically bringing home ownership to our community.
yeah,
Just talking about the different resources that are available, talking about the process of purchasing a home. We're also going to be incorporating some things like talking about the careers in real estate, because, like I said, this is community wealth building. So we want to share with people the opportunities that are available in the real estate industry. If you want to be a real estate agent or a broker, or one of the
I
other
need
positions that people don't talk about, appraisers, inspectors.
that
Yes, we needed an appraiser, right?
man.
Yes. So this event is going to be amazing. I'm excited about it. So I'll be posting information about it on my social media platforms, of course. And of course, I'll send you the information to share. But
Yes,
yeah, it's going to be amazing. So that's the next big one that I have coming up. And every now and then we do things. So the Associated Real Property Brokers is really, like I said, about democracy in housing, and also bringing home ownership to the community, especially the Black and Brown community, but all homeowners really that have been disadvantaged. And just sharing a wealth of information, like the programs that are available in the city and county, that a lot of people don't know about. Like, one of the things that keeps home buyers from actually going forward with purchasing is the initial money. A lot of people don't have the down payment money. A lot of people don't have closing costs. A lot of people don't even know that they need that.
I know.
And that's a big chunk of money.
Yeah, it is.
So there's programs out here that will give you all of that in some instances.
It really-
So yeah, we'll be talking about those types of things at that event and through some of the other events that we have coming up.
Thank you so much for sharing. I want to say, I want to add too. She's a huge advocate for people of color.
Yes,
Huge.
yes. I got to
Yes.
represent for my people, especially Black people, because we have been in such a disadvantaged position.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are afraid to say that. Like, a lot of people don't want to acknowledge that. But I'll be one of the first to step up and say, because I come from that. Like, growing up, and one of the things that got me into educating people about home ownership was the fact that nobody in my family owned a house except for like two people. And
Yeah.
everybody on my block that lived in the houses were renting the houses. So
Yep.
home ownership wasn't even a thing that we talked about. Like it wasn't something that was like a common thing. So I want to be the change that I want to see. I want to help change the narrative about what our communities look like. Um, and like I said, bring home ownership to the community. So yeah.
Yeah. No, it was great. And because I know we had some situations that came up and just needed a little bit of advocacy. And
Woo!
honey, Miss Jonisha was ready to say "Ah," in the most professional way.
Yes, I have to take care of my people and stay professional because at the end of the day, like when you're in a real estate transaction, everybody wants it to work out. The seller wants it to work out, the buyer wants it to work out. We as professional agents want it to work out. So it's really about learning how to maintain and build really good relationships with everybody that's involved. So that's one of the things that I also bring to the table and I enjoy it. It can be a challenge at times, but sometimes it's really about just knowing how to effectively communicate with people.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. You're a great gift giver. I just want to let you know back here,
Thank you.
plant is yet living. It is
I
alive,
see it. I love it.
alive and well.
Yes.
I didn't think I was gonna do good. I thought I tell you a few times I forgot to water it. I was like, oh, let me get this.
It's a resilient one. It's a resilient one. The name of that one, it's known as like a snake plant. I don't remember the technical name, but it's really good for energy in the household. It's also good for
Yes,
cleaning the air, like most plants do. But it's a good one, and I thought of you when I saw it. So I was like, I'm getting this for Vanessa.
yes, honey. And then, honey, she gave me a bottle of champagne and a thank you,
Yes.
honey, and keychains, honey. I'm still. Oh, your thank you card is still here too. It's right here, honey. I put it right.
Nice. Nice.
I put it right on display. That's my
Awesome. What about the home warranty? Have you been able to like take advantage of that or have you had to? I'm hoping you haven't had to use it aside from the key.
rekey. I mean, besides the rekey and stuff, that was it.
Okay.
That's been it. Everything, everything's been going smooth. I may ask about this fan right here. It won't go fast. It just go like.
Oh.
I may ask them to see if they can tweak it, because the one in my room go fast, and I'm like, this is
Oh, okay.
yeah. So I'm like,
Okay.
y'all,
It maybe just needed some tightening. You may be able to call the maintenance guy through the
oh,
HOA or just call an electrician to come take a look at it. I'll send
okay,
you some numbers. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, just to tighten it up, yeah, because I mean, it's going, but then I wanted to go like,
Faster. Yeah. Look,
you
make
know,
the wind blow, please.
like it's just like a whistle. It's like,
Got it.
honey, I've been feeling this good heat out here. I'm like,
Oh my
oh,
gosh.
this place ain't playing. I was like, okay, I had to act
Yes.
AC on. It works.
Nice.
It works nicely, honey. I've been having to use it.
Awesome.
Really, I use it more like when guests come. I'll be like, okay, I want to cool it down for them. But me, like, as long as I stay in the house or
Yeah,
whatever, not as hot. It's when you go outside that you just start,
exactly.
because of where I sit is already shaded. Like my unit
Nice.
is shaded, yeah. But
Nice.
yeah, when you go outside and come back in, it's like, oh, a whole oven. But I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it, and like I said, God's been good to me, and I cannot complain at all. Thank you, Jesus. But um, but anyways, I will wrap this up. And again, everybody that's watching, please go and follow Agent Jonisha Smith on IG, on Facebook. And then also you can follow me at Vanessa Purpose on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook.
Look,
And you can also go to my website at vanessaimperfect.com
yes.
and get notified on upcoming events and things that are going on. And of course, like I said, I'm gonna do our next month. We will be posting flyers as we usually do on Instagram and throughout the social media, and letting you guys know what our next topic will be. And I want to say too, if you are an artist, if you are an up and coming artist with good positive energy music, and you would like to be featured at the beginning of our talks or at the end of our talk, our conversation, please let me know. And I will play
Awesome.
music and post your flyer so that we could promote each other and help one another. Again, I'm a small business myself, and I'm out for promoting other small businesses, especially businesses of color. So let's get out. Let's support one another. Let's love on each other. And
Yes.
and Jonisha Smith, tell your husband not Smith, the
Hello. Yes.
wife
Girl.
of the beautiful, lovely wife of Aaron Smith. No,
Proud wife. Look.
no. Tell him I said thank you. Look.
Thank you. I will.
Yes, yes. And so I want to thank you again for joining us on today. And I'm telling you, it won't be the last time we'll be able to come back, and definitely for that virtual housewarming. I think that'll be
I would
really
love to.
yeah. And so if anybody have any other questions or any other concerns, please feel free to hit up Jonisha Smith. Also, stay tuned to my page for more upcoming news on the next event. All right, y'all. I love y'all. God bless y'all. Peace.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.